Good morning everyone, my name is Stuart, welcome back. This is Stuart's and Stitches here on Flosstube. This is Flosstube number 49 and today is Sunday the 9th of November 2025. We're slowly progressing through November. It's a kind of grey morning here. This week's been fairly mild weather-wise, a bit damp. It's supposed to be turning cooler. I can feel a wee bit this morning. I'm sitting here in my t-shirt and we'll see how the day goes. So that's the weather update from the central belt of Scotland. Right, so welcome everyone. It's nice to be here with you once again to share my stitching over the past week. There's quite a few things to share and talk about, so that's good. We can have a pleasant half hour, 45 minutes together, I think. First of all though, I'd like to welcome back all of you who faithfully follow me week after week. You tune in and see what Stuart's been up to, and you let me know what you've been up to, which is great. I'm beginning to after a year now, one would expect so, beginning to recognise the projects that you're talking about as well. It's lovely hearing your progress on them as you draw to a finish or reach a milestone. So it's been good getting to know you, and that will continue, I hope. For my new subscribers, and there's been another few this week, so welcome aboard. Nice to have you with us. Hope you continue to enjoy what I share in my videos, and again, please make yourself known in the comments. And to anybody who's new, who's just stumbled across the channel, think, what's this baldy boy here talking about? I'm here talking about cross-stitching. I'm going to be talking about cross-stitching for the next 40 odd minutes, which is great. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. It's always a good thing to get. And if you want to know more, please think about hitting the subscribe button and ringing the bell. You'll get notified when I post. I generally post on a weekly basis, usually every Sunday, unless events conspire against me, which they will next weekend. More on that later. And what else do I want to say before I move on? Yes, comments. Thank you for all the comments on my last update. They were great to receive and wonderful to work through. It's always a joy to me to hear what you have to say and what you're working on and what you think about what I'm working on as well. Positive affirmation is real. We all like it, so thank you for that. Please do continue to comment below. Let me know what you're working on, what's going on. Any comments and questions on what I'm sharing, always good to hear. Talking about, there was a question, what was the question? I really must write these questions down. I did answer it in the comments, but I can't remember what the question was now. Oh, someone's asking how I got on with opalescent fabric. I got on not bad with it. First time I started using it, it takes a wee bit getting used to. Because I use a lamp, the reflection of the sparkle can sometimes be a little bit confusing when you're trying to find where you're putting your thread. But once you get over that and you realise the sparkle parts are not part of the thread count, then your brain adjusts and on you go. It just takes a wee bit getting used to it first because it's something slightly different. But it is worth it. I'm busy looking up a piece I'm going to be showing you in a wee while here that's sitting sparkling under my lamp as we speak. The light's a bit dodgy today, by the way, so we'll see how this goes. I did put Mickey on, but then I couldn't see a thing, and I need to adjust my setup because Mickey puts the camera way up a bit higher, and when it's up there, I'm kind of going like that, and I can't see what I'm showing you. So we'll persevere at the moment and see how this goes. Hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing. Other ways of getting in contact with me are over Instagram and TikTok, where you'll find me under Stuart's and Stitches. I generally post my temperature stitching there, and in TikTok I do my temperature stitching before and after, so as you can see what I've actually done. And then if you need any other ways of getting in touch with me will be Gmail, so that's stuartsandstitches@gmail.com. Instagram you can message me as well, of course, and that's it I think at the moment. So I love the conversations, the dialogue, and I love when people get in touch. A couple of people sent me some pictures of their progress last week, which was great to see, because it's a problem in the commentary on YouTube. You can't actually see where people are in their projects if they're telling you about them. I always go and look, especially when I don't recognise a project in question. I'll go and have a quick Google and think, well, yes, well, I wish I hadn't looked now. You know the problem that lies there. So some of you have taken time out to snap your progress and send it to me in an email, which is lovely. So thank you for that. I do appreciate that. So today we're going to have a chat about some whips, some haul. I'm busy looking at my notes, a little bit of plans, and I think that's probably it for today. It's not so much today, but there's enough to keep us going. Right. Where shall we start? We'll start with the whips and we'll start with temperature stitching as usual. So for my temperature stitching, I have 10 projects assigned 0 to 9, and depending what the BBC Weather app tells me is a high for that day, I will then stitch on that project. So if it's a 9 or 19, then for me that would be Aurora Cabin, because 9 is the last digit of 19. And this week we have been in double digits all week, unlike the previous week. The double digits have been fairly stable though, so there's one project got a lot of attention. The owl was happy. So that'll give you a clue to what that project is when we come to it. But it's not the first one, because the first one is going to be Fall Fairy, because that's at the top of the pile here beside me. What was that that fell? Oh, hang on. We're having chaos. Right, chaos restored. Or order restored from chaos. First up is Fall Fairy, a well-known Dimensions kit. Dimensions Gold. The artwork is by somebody, Ruth Sanderson. And the lights coming and going. This is going to be fun. So let's see how we get on. So this came out, when did this come out? Thursday. Got 121 stitches of some sort or other on it. I was working with the tree and a bit of the sky. Let's see if I can get this into some shape that I can actually show you. How does that look? That looks not bad. So I was up here, I was filling in the tree, and I filled in along there. I really must make that project board I talked about at some point, and I can just pin these to it. So there we are, that's Fall Fairy. I do like this piece. I think at some point this might come out of temperature stitching and actually get a week's worth of work. Who knows? So that's coming on nicely. It's 16 count Dove Grey, using the provided Dimensions kit threads and stitching whatever's required. So it's cross stitch, half stitch, back stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6 strands of thread. Take your pick. So she's looking good. Happy with that. Right. Just fold that up and get it put away. And go back in the box. Right, next up, next to the party. So this is my naughty stitching. It's Tom of the artwork is by Tom of Finland. Scandinavian? I knew this and I forgot now. One of the Nordic countries anyway. Artist, and he did a series called Shipwrecked, and an Australian company turned that into cross stitch. And I think Carol tells me I have them all. I'm not sure. I've done the first one and I'm a fair way through the second one now. The story behind it is a shipwrecked sailor lands on a desert island, and the resident of the island comes and finds him, and they get acquainted, as you will see. This is being stitched on a nice piece of, oh, there's the back, nice piece of 28 count, something or other. I can't remember the name of this, but this is, I'm sure this is a hand dyed fabrics by Stephanie. It has that look about it. I'm using the called for DMC's 2/2 full cross, and here's what we're looking like. So I've done quite a bit this week. So I filled in all up here, up in his top, above his biceps, or onto his shoulder, whatever this is going to be. Filled in over here, there's some gaps there that I've filled in just above the owl. And got, what did I get this week? 4 days, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got about 400 odd stitches added in. This seems to be a firm favourite on TikTok, by the way. Can't imagine why. When I post this up, I always get lots of views for some reason. As I say, I'm not sure why people would be so interested in it. Even the owl's puzzled. So there we are. Tom of Finland Shipwreck Part 2, making great progress. And we're over halfway there now, because now this is just about, and his hairline is a halfway mark. So we'll finish the boy off here, and then after that it's just background, and I think there's some trees and things up here. But it's really effective. Oh, there's a thread hanging. Oopsie. Get up there. It's really effective though. They're just some shades of grey and whites. Well, it's even the white is off-white, 3865, lots of 3865. They provide an 11 count white fabric in the kit, I looked at that and I did the first one on it. And I thought, okay, I've done that now, that's not happening again. But it's coming along nicely. I'm very happy with how that's looking. So somebody else probably, by the way. But let's not go down that road, shall we? Right. So that was that one. So that got 4 days work for temperature stitching. And then the other one is one as a new, well, it's not new now, you have seen it once before, but it's a relatively new entrant into the world of my temperature stitching. I was doing Blue Moon Fairy for a 3, so it was a 13 this week, but I got fed up with that and decided to put in Autumn Quakers from Rosewood Manor. A lovely, lovely piece. Very appropriate for this time of year, and has the most gorgeous colours, by the way. So, talking of colours, Valdani threads. These are a beautiful palette. Things hanging left, right and centre here. I wondered where that had gone. Right, so these are Valdani threads. They come in a spool. They're very nice, a wee ball actually, wound up in a wee ball, which is rather nice. Looks like a nice presentation box for as a kit for this one. The threads hanging everywhere. So I took them off that and wound them into usable lengths onto floss drops, as you can see. And I use them just as they come out. It's 3, unlike DMC, these are 3 strands, not 6. And you use it as it comes off, so you use 3 strands. And it's lovely to work with, and the variegation is gorgeous. So what is it I'm rabbiting about? You would say, what's this variegation? What's it looking like? Well, it's looking like this. There we are. So this week I worked on the basket. Well, the basket was done, so I put in these 7 acorns. I was looking at them when I first stitched them at first. I was thinking these are 7 pineapples. Those of you who know will be giggling now, by the way. Some of my friends. I don't know why I had pineapple in the brain. But anyway, acorns. They are acorns. So it's a lovely piece. And look at this motif down here. Look at that. Look at the colours. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. I don't know why I've left this long before picking it up again. So it's been stitched on a 28 count linen. I'm looking at it from the back. Is it linen or even weave? Hang on. It's linen. Bring it in a bit like you see where we are. There you go. You get full benefit of the glorious colours of autumn. So that's Autumn Quakers by Rosewood Manor. I got 112 stitches just to put these in. There's 16 stitches in each of these, and I did 7 of them yesterday morning while listening to a David Baldacci story, The Last Mile, from the library. I do like an audible book when I'm stitching. Or an audio book, I should say. So I use Audible in the library as well. Right, enough of that. Put that over there. I don't know. I've not looked at the temperatures next week yet. It's supposed to be turning a bit cooler, apparently. Apparently people are expecting a bit of a winter chill coming. We shall see, we shall see. Right, so that was that. That was the temperature stitching. Next up is Frost and Velvet. So the main driver behind stitching this has now ceased. However, I will keep stitching it, I think. Yeah, a wee sneak preview there. So the reason I was stitching this was for Andrew, the runner stitcher, who was running the New York City Marathon. And it's as part of as a support for his training schedule. I'm just reaching my tablet there. He had also set up a Whip into Shape challenge. So for those of us who were supporting him in his running, we would pair his running schedule, his training schedule. We would stitch accordingly. The basic premise was for every mile he ran, you would stitch 10 stitches. And or if you don't count your stitches, stitch for the amount of time it took him to run that day. So if it took him half an hour to run his 3 mile training, you'd either do 30 stitches or 30 minutes of stitching, whichever. Or you adapt to suit yourself. I adapted. So I basically did 100 stitches for every day he ran, and latterly I generally ran 4 days a week, so I just did a batch of 400 stitches and said, okay, we're good now. We're done. So I worked on 2 pieces overall from May to, I was going to say May to September, but we've been down that road before. May to November. So I did Saga when I got 10,000 stitches into that up till the end of September. Then I switched over to the piece I'm about to show you now called Frost and Velvet from Stitches So Beautiful. And let me just pull this up. So over the course of his training for this for 2 months, I think I must have reached about 5,000 stitches or thereabouts. Let me just scroll through my tablet till I find a piece so I can show you the goodie. So you'll recognise this. I've shown you it before. There he goes. There we are. So I'm down where the crozier. I don't know if it's a crozier or a crook. It's a bit small to be a crozier, really. I'm down sort of on his hand and that cuff around his the ermine round the cuff of his jacket. And it's a lovely piece. And the ladies at Stitches So Beautiful are kind enough to mention me on their Facebook page, saying that they've been enjoying seeing my progress on this, which was lovely to read and hear. So if you're watching, thank you for that. And I hope you're all doing well. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count gridded even weave, 1/1 full cross, and I'm using the CXC threads for it. As you can see, the coverage is excellent for the dark colours. I mean, there's blacks and browns here, and you cannot see a speck of white, just as I like it. So I'm doing this cross country per page. So we'd finished this first page, and I was working along here last week on Sunday when Andrew was running. So I decided I would do 261 stitches on on Sunday, and as in 10 stitches for every mile of the marathon. So I did that. And I decided to keep going, and I got 567 stitches in all told, which I was very pleased about. Andrew completed the marathon successfully. I think it took about 4 hours for it, so well done, Andrew. Yeah, I hope you had a very well deserved rest this week after all that. So it's coming on very well. I'm very pleased with how it's looking. So down here, these are the knuckles of his hand wrapped around that crook. There's a bit of a ring there. I've got the ermine of the cuff, and I'm just building up here. So we'll keep going. So I'll probably try and get another 200 or 300 stitches into it this week, and I'll try and keep this going, give it some weekly love between now and Christmas. God, I've said the C word, shriek. But there he is, looking good. So I'm very happy how that's turned out. This is my first Stitches So Beautiful chart to work on. It won't be my last. I think that's gorgeous. The detail just in that bit there is very good, and the ermine round the cuff looks tremendous. Now, these two pieces are influenced by other floss tubers. Isn't it amazing how just watching somebody's floss tube makes you think, oh, that makes me think I need to stitch that. Aye, well, there we go. Such is life. So the first one I'm going to show you was inspired by Jen, the Caffeinated Crafter, via the Alchemist Stitcher. I must just take a note of the timestamp because I don't know where my picture of this piece is in its finished state, so I shall put one up somewhere around here at this point, 18 minutes 12, or thereabouts. So what I'm talking about here is Luna by Nora Corbett. So Jen has started playing Floss Tube Frenzy. No surprise there. I mean, their stitching is a frenzy. What that woman accomplishes defies belief. But this is a new game in the Floss Tube world that's taken it by storm, inspired by the Alchemist Stitcher. I got it wrong last week. I thought it was Siski, but a couple of you mentioned to me in the comments that no, it was the Alchemist Stitcher. So I stand corrected. So thank you for that. It's always good to be able to give out the correct facts. So the Alchemist Stitcher is a stitcher in question that inspired the Floss Tube Frenzy game. So Jen is doing it for 21 floss tubers. When they post up, she does a number of stitching, and I was one of the ones that she has picked. Also, I discovered the Lancashire Stitcher has got me down as well. She's doing a lavender and lace piece under my name. Both those ladies seem to have me sussed somehow or other. Not quite sure where they get the information. However, but I have the piece that Lynn is doing as Lancashire Stitcher. It's one of the Santas with the baby angels, I think, or the cherubs. But I haven't started that project, so I haven't brought that out to anything with. But with Jen's one, I had it all kitted up, and I thought I'll just make a start on that then. Since she's starting it, Jen started at the top, I've started at the bottom as usual, and we have pumpkins. Let's have a look. There we go. And Yoda keeping a watchful eye. So this week I was working over to this side. So for the last time you saw it, I was over that way, so I've come over this side. There's a lot of Krennic 015HL. Where'd that go? That nasty stuff that rasps through your fabric, but it gives a very good effect. When the light's on it, the glitter is tremendous. There's a lovely dark glitter there. So those pumpkins are looking nice, aren't they? So this has been stitched on what started off life as a piece of 28 count fabric. It then went through the tie-dyeing process by a lady on Vinted, and it came back out as about a 31 or something like that. It's an opalescent purples and pinks and things like that going on. It's gorgeous for this project. Let me bring it in a wee bit. Oh, you can see there's a wee bit of sparkle going on. So that's Luna from Nora Corbett. So I'm stitching this 2/2 using everything that's called for. And I'm using DMC threads for this. I hauled them out of a master set. This is the piece that broke the master set seal. So Jen, thank you for the inspiration to pick this up and start it. I have really enjoyed it this week. I'll keep going for a few more days maybe. And having shown you that and talked about it, I think that's probably just doubled the number of stitches you now have to do for my video, having caught up on your last week's video. Oopsie, sorry, not sorry. You can kill me later. So there was that, and then the last piece I want to show you was inspired by the fact that Michelle at Mama Loves You GB, what timestamp's this? 21, just in case I want to put up a thing, but I don't know if I do need to because I've got the picture here, was showing how she finishes off her Mill Hill Christmas ornaments and talking about the frames she uses to work them in. And I thought, oh, I have a Mill Hill piece I have started and I have that frame. I never thought to put it in that side. I had it in a smaller frame, which is a bit tedious. But the way she showed it, I thought, oh, that's going to fit. So I thought, I'll try that. It did. So on Friday night, this got immediately clamped into the Lowry and got some stitches into it, and yesterday as well. What else do I need to show you from this? Oh, I've got the threads here. So that's the threads for this piece. The piece in question is a Mill Hill buttons and beads kit called Haunted Mansion. So that was the threads. It will look like this. Oh, there we go. It comes in a dark blue perforated paper, and you get this bead, or this button rather. There's a wee, there's a ghosty, there it is. And a pile of beads. They'll be a joy to sort, said nobody ever. And here it is. So here's my progress. Now you can see me through it. So I picked this up. I've worked all that in down here and up there a bit. And it's coming along rather nicely. So it's a piece of 14 count perforated paper that has been printed as a blue. The frame came from that well-named shop in the UK called, I can never say this without wanting to laugh, schoolboy humour coming back, Hobby Jobby. Whoever thought that name up, really? For the UK, who knows? Anyway, it came from Hobby Jobby. It's magnetic. You can see the back of my stitching there. I have no shame. Very strong wee magnets there, as you can see, because my needle's hanging on there for dear life. Well, it was. Where'd that go? There it's. That is a needle there. And you just put your piece in between and snap it together. And as my maths teacher used to say, snip, snip, Bob's your auntie. So that's coming on nicely. And this just slides into your Lowry. If you use a Lowry, it just clamps into your Lowry quite happily. So you can get onto your two-handed stitching. So very happy with how that's looking. And we'll keep that going for a few days as well now that I've got back into it. Because as you know, it gets a wee bit tedious holding on to this stuff. But now I've got it into this, and it gives it a good bit of stability. Very happy. So these frames, I would recommend these. Pop on over to Hobby Jobby and have a look. They have various sizes, and all sizes to suit all pieces. And so we're into perforated paper and using it. This is great. So thank you, Michelle, for your tutorial on how you finish it, because it made me then go hunting out this. I've quite enjoyed working that the past couple of nights. Right, so that was all the stitching this week. So that's not bad. What, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 projects were attacked this week, so a reasonable amount of stitching. I'm retired. I took early retirement from work a couple of years ago, and I thought I'm going to get loads of stitching done. And I've got nowhere near as much as I thought I would. Because I hear some of you are all working all the hours God sends, running households, full-time jobs, all the rest, and you're knocking out thousands and thousands of stitches. How? What's your secret? Share. People need to know. Anyway, moving on. We have a little bit of haul to share, which is in a purple envelope that brought another piece of haul. I just realised there's a label on the front of this, my address on it. So that brought a piece of haul which I'm not going to show you yet. You'll see that piece next week when I finish dealing with it. But this has a kit I bought off eBay. If I can get it out. It went in, so it's coming out. So the kit in question was a Teresa Wentzler kit, which a lady had put up as for bids or offers. So I put in a cheeky offer. I thought, well, if somebody's asking for an offer, I'll make an offer. So I did, and I got it for a nice round number, which included the postage. So I was very happy. And the kit in question is Night by Teresa Wentzler. There you go. You can have a wee look at that. Looking not bad. So that came all organised, and there we are. That looks worse than it actually is. These are all organised in thread cards, which is great. Oh, I don't know why my laptop screen suddenly said to come and join the party there. Oh well, gives you a bit more light maybe. As you can see, an extensive key as usual. Extra cards there which I'll use for the blends, because you know Teresa Wentzler, she loves her blends. So I'll just slide that back, and there's beads as well. A wee pile of 40557, the gold beads, gold Mill Hills. Well, more I'll show you actually. I must remember that I've got a chart to show you. Oh, wait till you see that chart. Anyway, we digress. Now I did make a wee start on this, just so as I've got everything marked. I also wasn't colour matching my thread in my sewing machine. I don't know what I was sewing beforehand, but you see how I've edged it. So I'll just put a wee bit of the border at the bottom there. This is a piece of 27 count something that came with it. So I've just started the border just so as I know where I am next time I pick it up. So I did 10 full crosses along then, and another 10. So I wanted to measure just to make sure it was 27. So 13 and a half of that made an inch. And for the border, I'll do 9 halves, and every 10th stitch I'll fully cross it, so as I don't need to worry too much about the counting, because it's only about 90 odd across. So I'll get that, I can work that bottom border in quite quickly. So I was very happy with that. You know me, I do like my Teresa Wentzler kits. And it came with another nice wee piece of fabric as well. So I'm not sure what I'll do with that yet. I'll keep that out actually. I have an idea in mind, but we'll see. I need to measure it first. Alright, let me just put this back in this envelope. You know I make bags. I haven't got a bag for this. It's true, I'm like the cobbler's son. Make sure for everybody else and none for me. So that was one piece of haul. The other piece of haul is a PDF that I bought myself. This was inspired by Josie at the tartan retreat that I was at a few weeks ago down in Dumfries. It was a tattoos chart. Now then, I have the saga file for it. I'm just trying to think the best way of showing you this. I'm not sure how to yet. Let me have a look. I should have prepared beforehand. I might just get the PDF and show you the PDF. Will you? Yeah, I'll get the PDF. We'll look at the PDF together. There's my OneDrive. My files. Cross stitch. Funny how the cross stitch file in my OneDrive is the biggest folder of all. It contains decades of joy that lie ahead. More decades than are left in me, I fear. Right, Treasure Bay. Treasure Bay instructions. There's a picture in the front of this. There we go. So this is what it's going to look like when we get rid of the glare. So it's very Chatelaine-esque in style, but it looks gorgeous. I mean, you see the 4 quadrants there, the sea creatures, the ships, and the mariner's compass in the middle. It's just stunning, stunning, stunning. The supply list is something else, so that's going to take some kitting up. Oh, there you go, it's actually looking not bad there. Now the light is adjusted. So this is by Tortue Stitches. You can't go onto our website in the UK, but I'd messaged her over Instagram saying, I would love this chart. What do I need to do to get it? So she sent me a link. And then once I paid, 5 minutes later, this dropped into my inbox. There is a Pattern Keeper version, but it comes with it. But these things don't really do well in Pattern Keeper. You get all the cross stitch. But because I have Saga, the Saga file is brilliant. And for me, will be the way forward for this piece. I imagine it'll work in Markup RXP as well, but I'm not familiar enough with that to say that definitively. But those of you who are experts in that will probably be able to import this quite easily, I'm sure. So there we are. This is the instruction part, which is 48 pages, of which a fair bit is the supply list. Because let me scroll down the supply list slightly. So we've got Karen Water Lilies, Karen Water Colours, Cosmo Nishikito metallic threads, which I might have because Carol got me some of them at Christmas last year. Dinky Dyes, Silks, Krennic, no surprise there. Petite Silk Lame, Petite Treasure Brace, Thread Gatherer, Silks, Weeks Dye Works, Miyuki Delica Beads by the Bucket, some rondelles, Primero Starflower, Primero Beads, Bicones. I've never heard of Primero before, so, and then a whole raft of DMC. And then a key, which is good, nice and clear. There you go. Right. Come back here. Let me get back to the key. Gee, the tablet does something you don't want it to do. No, there we are. So, there we go, coming into focus. There's your key, nice and clear, nice clear symbols. And then you get a raft of instructions. So it's like the Chatelaine start in the centre and work out. And some good clear diagrams as well of how to do stitches. So there's one for a Smyrna and the crescent stitch, which are used in this first section that she's talking about. So, Josie, thank you for that rabbit hole that you've sent me down. I've only bought one. I mean, these are huge. They're like Chatelaines are huge. Talking of Chatelaines, I picked mine up this week, Poison Garden Mandala, and then probably put it back down again. So I was looking into it thinking, oh, I really need to get back into this. But then I thought, I need to do prep work before I get into it, insofar as I need to spend a good hour or two refamiliarising myself with how this piece works, reading Martina's instructions again, and sort of picking up from where I left off. I mean, I know exactly where I am on it, because I was able to, it's very clear where I am in my Chatelaine, but it's the kind of getting back into being friends with it again. You know, you've not been with somebody for a while. It's, sometimes it can take a wee bit to gel again, or just to connect and get up to speed. Well, that's what I'm having my Chatelaine. However, I think I might spend an afternoon having a look at it, having a look at the pattern, looking at the threads, and then feeling brave enough. I was looking at Mad Morty had posted up a picture of her Chatelaine where she is. She's a kind of a couple of stages further on than I am in my one, and that inspired me as well. So we'll have a wee look. Now that I've mentioned Mad Morty, I'd better write her down because I'll tag her. It's always nice to acknowledge fellow Flosstubers in the community. There's Lynn and Mad Morty. So that was in Mad Morty's Instagram. I saw that. It's Mad Morty and the Bronze Stitcher. So go have a look if you like your chatelaines. She's doing Poison Garden as well. And I saw somebody in the chatelaine group on Facebook had finished and framed Poison Garden mandala. I have screenshotted that for future reference as I work round it. Let's take a drink. As I have screenshotted Mad Morty's as well, just because I can zoom in when I'm thinking, what actually should I be stitching here, and see what decision she made, and see if I want to do the same. Anyway, so that was that. The other haul, sort of, is I signed up to the Haid Sal. I signed up to do Stone Cottage Keep, which I shall put a picture of here at 35 minutes and 44 seconds. Picture. And that was the other piece of physical haul I got, because I went to Abby at Crossing Crafts and asked her to provide me with the fabric and the thread. So I'm going to be doing that piece 25 count 2/1 tent stitch. So all that arrived. I ordered that at the start of the week. It arrived on Thursday. Abby is as efficient as ever. And then I have started winding the threads onto floss drops. And once that's done, I'll show you that next week so you can see the colour palette. For those of you who haven't kitted that one up yet and are doing it, I'll give you an idea. For those of you who are watching and might be swithering about which piece to do, it'll also give you an idea of what it might look like with these threads on it. So look out for that next week. I'm very excited about this one. I've not done one of the Haid Sals. I remember Michelle used to do the Facebook challenges years ago now. This is before lockdown, so in the 2015, 16, 17 era. And she would challenge us to stitch 3 or 4 pages of a project, and then she'd give us a free chart for doing that, which was great. Sadly, that stopped for various reasons. So, but this is a good thing as well. Because if I finish one page, and I'm sure I will finish one page, I get there's a free Amy Stuart exclusive, which I'm no idea what that is, but I want to get my hands on that. And then if you finish 6 pages, which again is very doable over the course of a year, then you get all the charts that are provided that were included in the SAL, so that'll be good. And if you finish the full piece, then you get a choice of one of 3 exclusive charts to pick from. So it's all good. It's win-win-win. And I've worked out, I think if I do 250 stitches a day, I think that gets me to finish the piece by the end of the year. If I do 125 a day, that gets me to my 6 pages. I think. I'll need to recheck that, so don't take that as gospel. That was kind of quick and dirty on the calculator, but I need to sit down and spend 10 minutes just calculating out the numbers and see what that looks like. So, enough of haul. Plans. No, plans is not for Sal yet. Sal's not till January. So, what are we talking about? Plans for next week will be, well, at the start of the week, it'll probably be temperature stitching as usual, a bit of Frost and Velvet, some Luna and Mill Hill, so rinse and repeat of what you've seen this week. However, at the end of the week, it's the Scottish Stitching Retreat at long last. This has been a long time coming round to a certain extent. Last time we were there, it was in March. We had a stitching day in between in August, and I've been to the Tartan Retreat in Dumfries. I can't really complain. That doesn't stop me, does it? So we've got the Scottish Stitching Retreat over in Castle Carey near Cumbernauld, just half an hour away from me. This is ideal. It's half an hour door to door, which is great. I can leave here at 2:30 and check in at 3 o'clock into my room, and then wait impatiently for the stitching room to open when our illustrious leader Donna arrives. If you're interested in this, by the way, there is a Facebook group for it. Hunt up Scottish Stitching Retreat, answer the couple of questions, and Donna will admit you to the group. The retreat is run twice a year in March and in March and November, and there's more often than not there's a day retreat in the summer as well, just to keep us going. It's great fun, heartily recommend, so give it some thought and consideration. So that figures heavily in my plans. So I've no idea what, well, I know one piece I'm taking with me. Where did I put it? Where did I put that project thing? Oh, it's down there. I thought it was down here, excuse me. So looking in this lovely travel kit from Canny Little Fox on Instagram is some projects, and some of the ladies last time suggested a stitch along using one of the tiny towns from Heart and Hand, and it was agreed it can be anyone, but I think most of us are doing Nativity, which is this one. There, so if I put it that way, you can actually see what it looks like. So I've never done one of these before. So I thought, oh, I'll sign up to that. It's quite a big thread. For a small piece, it's quite a big thread list. I'm not going to do the fancy threads, I'm just going to do DMC. So at some point this week I need to haul the DMC out. It comes with 2 wee star embellishments. I can't show you this though because you'll see the graph then, the chart, which would not be appropriate. It is tiny, it's 176 by 30. But there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 colours. So 14 classic colour, no, so there's 7 classic colour works, there's about 6 weeks dye works and a gentle arts, if you want to go down that road. I'm just going to do DMC for this one. So yeah, I'll just kit it up on one of my pretty little thread keep things, because that, I'm sure there's enough cards there I can get that'll cope with the threads, so that'll be nice. So I'll start, I'm not sure what fabric I'm going to stitch it on, because the reason I kept this out from my Teresa Wentzler one that I got that just came with it, I thought this might actually work, because I could do them all on this. I just need to measure it. Does she tell us what it works out at on the different thread counts? What was it stitched on? It was stitched on 32 count over 2, and it comes out at 11 across. So 28 count are probably about 12 or 13. And it won't work across the way, I don't think. I think it's going to be too neat, but it'll certainly work. It won't work the short way, but it'll work the long way. So we shall see. I might use that, or I might have a troll in the stash and see what there is. So I'll be taking that piece as a new start, a retreat start. So in my travel case. I also have Halloween in here as well, I notice. Oh, there's another one. Oh, there are things lurking in here. So we've got Halloween and Christmas. So there's Christmas. Oh, that is Christmas. And Halloween. Who knew? Certainly I didn't. So, I was logical, I put them all in the same place. So that's nice. Nice wee travel case this, by the way. This will be handy. I've got a Bella Filipina stashed on the other side of it. I noticed Christabel Mermaid Aquabelle. Right. So there's that. So that'll be going. Other than that, ask me on Friday. I might know them when I'm packing. I have absolutely no idea what I'm taking. I'm taking bags. I made bags. So I thought I'd show you some of those. Those who are going to the retreat, a wee sneak peek here. So I've got one of the... Alright, I'm just checking. This is one of the large bags. So this is some nice wolves at night. So there's some 2 or 3 large bags going. There's quite a few of the smaller size bags are going. So there's this nice colourful flower thing, which is rather nice. Nice fabric. I saw a thread grouping there. It's gone. That's rather nice. So these are fully lined. Not a seam to be seen. That's not easy to say. They've been past the QA of Carl. And we have some nice vinyl ones as well. So this is a nice sewing one. Nice glitter vinyl. Yeah, the glitters will come through lined in red just to highlight that. So this was rustled up on Friday, this one. So very happy with that turned out actually. I thought it was quite a good one. It says me that made it. I shouldn't be saying these things. So there we go. So I've got, I think there's about 3 or 4 vinyl bags, 3 or 4 big bags, and about 10 of the smaller bags I'm taking with me. And we'll see how they do. See if I can pay for the next retreat. Which is generally my aim. If I can cover the next retreat off selling my bags, I'm very happy. I'm very fortunate in that our leader Donna allows me to sell my bags there. So thank you, Donna, for that. Much appreciated. What else I want to say about the retreat? I think that's it. So that's Monday. No, it's not Monday. It's Friday to Sunday. Friday we will descend in the Castle Carey Hotel. I'm sure there'll be ready and waiting for us. They look after us very well here. They feed us very well. I'm going to be careful. All this weight I lost at the start of the year, I have no desire to haul some of that back onto me, so I'll be watching carefully what I eat. Let's see how that pans out. Hopefully quite well. Small portions, Stuart, small portions. And do not go for seconds. Will be the constant mantra, I fear. So they feed us very well. The rooms are comfortable. The stitching room is brilliant. It's huge. Nice big round tables and lots of friends there. I think we have some new people coming as well, which will be lovely to get to know them. Do come and say hello. If you're watching this and you come to the retreat and we've not met yet, come and say hello to me, tap me on the shoulder. It's always nice to see who's there, meet new people, make new friends. So looking forward to that very much. We also have the joy of the Arts and Designs pop-up shop, which is great. So looking forward to that. I have already put in an order for a couple of things for Anne to bring up for me. So I've got the newest Mirabilia, the what is it, Daphne's Collection, I think it's called, Daphne's Connection, and Ariel from Bella Filipina. So the chart and the embellishments and whatever fancy threads are required will be brought up for me, which is great. Looking forward to that. I also looked at La Catarina, who is absolutely stunning, but she does have a stunning price tag, so that one's on pause at the moment while I consider. I noticed on the Arts and Designs website is that Anne's now put that up there, so the embellishment pack and the chart together by themselves bring you up to about £70, which is not an inconsiderable amount before you start adding in your fabric and threads. So we shall see. I might send a link to Carl and see what he thinks for Christmas. I'm sure the second word will be off because I'm sure he's already. I think most of my Christmas shopping from him has been done. There are a few things wrapped downstairs just now, I notice, and I've got most of his done. Just waiting for it all to arrive. He sent me various links of things to pre-order, so the pre-orders were done and the dates of delivery are now drawing close. So everything should, fingers crossed, arrive in time for Santa. Right, I think that's it really for the day. I didn't think I was going to have much, but here we are 46 minutes later. So that's good. So because I'm at the retreat next Sunday, I won't be recording next Sunday. I will try and grab the finished table because it's always a good thing to have a look at. So I might sneak down early one morning before the hordes descend and whiz along and let you see that. But my video update next week will be Monday. I shall probably record on Monday morning after I'm back and had a good night's sleep. So I'm absolutely shattered when I get back on Friday because I stay up late and then I get up early. The theory being I've paid for my hours here. I want as much stitching time as possible, so I'm in that room as soon as it's open, before breakfast, gallop off for breakfast, gallop back, plonk my arse down in that chair and stitch. Wander around, see people, sit back down, stitch. Go for my grub, sit back down and stitch. And that's how the weekend goes. And then I stitch probably, I usually stay up till about 11:30, 12 o'clock. So there are some diehards there, excuse me, who will stitch through the night. Nah, I do need a bit of sleep. Anyway, I've rabbited enough. So, as always, get in touch whatever means suits you through the comments, Gmail, email, TikTok, all those details will be in the box down there. I'm off now just to grab a cup of coffee, catch up on my farm. As you all know now, I'm an avid Heyday player, so I've got a derby task to finish and some other stuff to do on it this morning, so I'll get that sorted out. And then, if it stays dry, I'll pop out for a walk, kick Carl out of bed and get him up and moving, and then he didn't come to bed. I think it was about 5 o'clock. I was conscious of rumblings beside me as he crawled in, so a note left, get me up at 12:30 please. So I'll do that with pleasure. Yank the duvet off, haul the curtains open. There will be screams. Always good fun. And then I'll get to the stitching for the rest of the day, I think. So that's it. Have a good week, everybody. Happy stitching, and I'll be back next Monday to see you. Bye.